Hello viewers, Experience Speaks. Viewers, hope you liked my first part of the review, which was around context building. The second part about paint, standard accessories and steering of Kushaq I have reviewed in this second part of the video. I would like to again submit that this ownership review is absolutely unbiased. I will give you the good part as well as the, I would not say bad part, I would say what I miss or what Skoda could have improved or included in this vehicle. You see, we in India, whenever we are buying a car, we go for color and we go for features and accessories. My first review is on the color of the vehicle. As far as Skoda Kushaq is concerned, after having used it 1.5 months, I find the color to be good, glossy and easy to clean. With a soft cloth, you can easily blow off the dust. That is the best part. The dust does not stick to the color. That is the first review as far as the color is concerned. Now I come to the features and accessories of the Skoda Kushaq. I start with infotainment system. My review is on the Ambition variant, and the Ambition variant has a 10-inch infotainment system which is touch based. The infotainment system is fairly responsive and easy to use. In last 2.5 months, I have not faced any issues as far as selecting a particular feature is concerned. Coming down to connectivity, I have connected my Android phone with it, and this connection, I would say 90% of the times is not an issue, but 10% of the time I need to reconnect. That's the genuine feedback. And reconnection is also not an issue. You have to simply press the feature, select the feature, and it gets connected within few seconds. I've been using the Google navigation very regularly, and I have faced no issues. Yes, in case I do not want any kind of disconnection because of I would say external features of the Bluetooth or Bluetooth connectivity, if you connect through the USB-C port, I think that makes the connection fairly permanent. Skoda here, I would suggest for Bluetooth, they should upgrade to Bluetooth 5.x. Currently it is 4.x because 5.x is the future. It gives better bandwidth and better connectivity. Here Skoda can improve as far as the infotainment system is concerned. Coming down to controls, AC control, blower controls, these are feather touch switches. Using a feather touch switch is a paradigm shift. We are in the subconscious used to switches which are dial type, whereas in feather touch, because of this paradigm shift, we need more concentration than what we do in a dial type. So it is the initial set of the mind, which I would say in 2.5 months I am making myself comfortable. But using these switches is seamless. Whether it is the blower or switching on the AC or switching the AC on the auto mode or increasing the blower speed, it is seamless. And it is technology driven, it is modern. So I would not say that Skoda should go back to the dial type. It is only over a period of time. I think we will get used to it, and it is a good implementation of technology as far as feather touch switches are concerned. My experience on earlier cars on dial type of switches or press kind of switches which used to exist, they used to accumulate a lot of dust, and over a period of time they would wear away, or you need to press harder, or the connection may happen or may not happen because of the dust and environment conditions. I feel that these feather touch switches would not be subjected to these kind of issues which the predecessors used to have. Coming down to air conditioning. Air conditioning, I find, as far as Delhi summers are concerned, since I bought it from on 1st of October, it was summers were going and winters were approaching. It was pleasant, weather was pleasant. So I think AC, I find it to be comfortable, but my feedback would be incorrect whether it is perfect as far as Delhi weather is concerned or not. But on auto mode, I have used it extensively on my highways while in Madhya Pradesh because the temperatures were slightly higher, and I found it fairly comfortable. View would be the steering controls and the steering wheel. First, coming down to the steering wheel, it's a very sporty steering wheel with only 2 spokes, comfortable to handle. In ambition, it is leather wrapped, so it looks pretty premium. It is tilt and telescopic, so it can be adjusted to the driver's fancy and comfort. Whether you are pulling it up or pressing it down, or shifting it down or shifting it up, you can make it comfortable as far as your stance is concerned. The controls on the steering wheel, on the left, you have control to select your infotainment selections, which could be the song, which songs you want to play, or the radio controls. You can select and you can play. On the right hand side, it is primarily for the MID. So you can select various features of the instrument cluster MID, which is driving data, which could be even mileage, fuel efficiency, and all those features can be controlled through these right hand controls. The best part on these controls is the silver roller, which is pretty unique and comfortable to use. The selection through this is apt. Usage of horn from this steering wheel and the performance of the steering wheel also. The horn is very decent, and it is not adding to the sound pollution. It does not have that kind of shrill, but at the same time it is able to functionally sound the other road users. It may not be as audible because of the cabin insulation, but outside I think the volume of the horn or the pitch of the horn is perfect. It does not require any kind of change. Rather, I would say that this OE horn is one of the best in its class as far as sound is concerned. Steering performance. Steering is very light. I think it is one of the lightest of the cars which I have driven until now. Although it is light, but at the same time it neither understeers nor oversteers. It is just perfect on city traffic as well as on high speeds on the highway. Improvements on steering, I don't think it needs any kind of improvement. It is just perfect. I will now go to the instrument cluster. It's a personal choice or personal preference. I like analog instrument clusters, so I don't find that the digital cluster I'm not missing. I don't miss the digital cluster. The analog cluster, which gives the RPM, the engine temperature, the fuel gauge, and the speedometer, all are crystal clear during the daytime as well as during the night. I don't find any kind of improvement required, but yes, for the fancy of many owners or prospective buyers, Skoda can consider the way world is moving. They can have a digital cluster also instead of analog. But for me, it is perfect. Next, I would like to go into the controls, the cruise control. Cruise control in Kushaq is very nice. It's an asset. Once you lock a particular speed, the best part is that you can increase or decrease by every kilometer per hour. Suppose I lock the speed at 80 kilometers an hour on cruise control. Using the cruise control button, I can reduce it to 79, 78, 77, reduce down, or I can increase up to 81, 82, 83 by just pressing the button every time. This was not there, or it is not there in my other car which has cruise control, which is Chevrolet Cruze. There I cannot increase by every kilometer per hour. I have to increase using like a volume button. So this feature I find to be good as far as cruise control is concerned. There are pedal shifters. I have not used pedal shifters until now because I have not gone on any kind of steep hill drive where I need to use the manual mode of the torque converter. So pedal shifters I have not used, but it has pedal shifters also. The wiper arm is also very decent. You can use the wiper washer for the front screen, windscreen for the rear windscreen through this particular arm on your right. The wiper speed can also be selected from slow, medium, fast. So it's a fairly user-friendly kind of control on the right of the steering. On the left of the steering, you have the indicators. Indicators are also fairly responsive. You have indicators on the ORVM, which makes them fairly visible for sidecars. You have the control for headlights on the left side. My suggestion to Skoda here, most of the Indian cars have indicator on the right and wiper control on the left. In the right hand car, I find this to be more ergonomic because you tend to rest your elbow on the door rest and you try to, steer the car with your right hand. At the same time, if you want to use the indicator with the same hand fingers, you can control the indicator. But when, like Skoda Kushaq, it is on the opposite side. If the indicators are on the left side of the steering, then you need to use your left hand, which could be on the gear changing, or it could be lying idle, to shift the, rather to use the indicators. Here, Skoda may consider reversing it. That's my personal suggestion. Otherwise, functionally, both the controls are good. Next, I come to the switch, which is on the right hand side, like a typical German vehicle, for switching on the park lights, then switching on the headlights, and then switching on the fog lights. Here I think Skoda needs to reconsider. There are times when you want to run your vehicle only on the fog lights without using the headlight. There could be, a case where you want to do this. So with the current setup of Kushaq, the headlight and the fog light has to switch on simultaneously. The other thing is, there could be a reverse light, as I have on my Skoda Fabia. While reversing the vehicle, I can have a reverse light switched on. Or rather, if I am not even reversing, if I want to switch on the reverse light through the same dial control, if I pull the button, I am able to switch on the reverse light. Skoda can consider that also. That's a useful feature. The other change which I would suggest is, the instrument cluster switches on only when you switch on the headlight. It does not switch on the park light. Typically in metropolitan cities like Delhi, where the roads are floodlit, we drive on park lights. We don't switch on the headlight. In this case, in Skoda Kushaq, the instrument cluster remains dark. There is no option to switch on the instrument cluster light with the park light. That's a negative. I hereby conclude my second part of the review and would advise the viewers to even see my third part, which actually reviews the NVH, transmission, engine, braking and fuel efficiency of Kushaq.